to be fair to him, he's that sort of guy, isn't he? But that's why I said if they could have got that third goal for me, then I think Graham would have started thinking about the Arsenal game the weekend. Who do I protect and who do I take off? It might not have taken Chilwell off, for instance, but that's the way it goes as a manager.
And Zakaria, don't forget, went off injured as well. They've got a big game coming up this weekend. It's live on BT Sport. You can see them. But those are three injuries, potential injuries, that are bad news for them, actually, at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, coupled with the World Cup round the corner, coupled with the amount of games we've had condensed because of the World Cup, coupled with the changing of a manager, which usually coincides with injuries, because when a new manager comes in, everyone gets sparked and lifted, training goes up a level, coupled with a game where Sakari has not been playing, hasn't he? So he's come straight into an intense game. Chilwell's probably not played as much football as he would have liked. Azpilicueta's not usually a mainstay in the team. So all of these things, you pick up injuries, and the game really for Chelsea's Sunday. So it gives Graham Potter a headache, certainly.
The two wing-backs that Chelsea have flying, weren't they, flying? Reece James and Chilwell now are out, and probably out for the, maybe out for the World Cup.
What a shame. Of course, as soon as we get hold of Graham Potter and speak to him, we will bring you that interview. And don't forget, you can see Chelsea-Arsenal live on BT Sport this Sunday, kicking off at midday. Let me just let you know, though, that Chelsea, of course, they've topped the group. They're through. They're into the last 16. Congratulations to them. So we have our 16 qualifiers for the knockout rounds. And, of course, you can find out who plays who on Monday from 11 o'clock on BT Sport 1. That is the round of 16 draw. You can see that here. And we'll also be looking ahead to that as we discuss all of tonight's talking points on Champions League tonight, live from 10:30. There was a lovely shot of a certain player popping up in the middle of that, wasn't it? That was unexpected, but what isn't unexpected is that we'll be live until 11:30 this evening with plenty more conversation. That's what we were hoping to see. There he is, Raheem Sterling. A good night for him. He's looking for some form. He gets himself a goal. That man also on the score sheet, Zakaria, before he went off injured. So what does it mean for Chelsea this evening? Stay where you are. We'll discuss all the big talking points next. Welcome back. It was a bad night on the injury front. It was a good night as far as the results concerned for Chelsea. They'd already managed to win the group, but tonight they won their final game in the group. Raheem Sterling with his first goal in the last 9. And Dennis Zakaria on his debut, making it 2-1, giving them the win. And these are the results from this evening. One of them is extremely significant, actually. Let's just confirm what's happened. AC Milan 4-0 winners tonight, so they make it through, along with Chelsea, to the knockout stages. Everything was already organised before tonight from Group G. In Group F, a 4-0 win for Leipzig against Shakhtar means that they join Real Madrid in the last 16. But listen to this, OK? In Group H, Paris Saint-Germain set to win the group. Benfica scored 6 goals away from home this evening, which means that they actually topped the group on away goals scored. Every single other area was the same as Paris Saint-Germain, so it's on away goals scored. Benfica topped the group, which suddenly means that whether you're Chelsea, you're Manchester City, or you're Tottenham, you could suddenly be facing Paris Saint-Germain in the last 16 of the Champions League. How things can change, and the final one of those 6 goals was scored in injury time tonight by Benfica. Amazing drama. Right, let's get some reaction from this evening. Let's hear from the man who made his debut, scored a goal as well. Here's Dennis Zakaria talking to Jules.
Dennis, congratulations on a win and a goal on your Chelsea debut. How are you feeling?
Very exciting. Very happy for that debut with Chelsea, and for that goal. We win 2-1, so I'm really happy.
You scored on your Juventus debut as well, and now on your first start for Chelsea. Was it important for you to make an impact?
I think it was important for me to play good, to do a good game and to help the team to win. And I think the job is done today, so I'm really happy about that. And I'm really happy for the win. That's the most important for me.
What about your goal then? Because you were arriving at the edge of the box and the ball got played into you. What was going through your mind at that point?
On my mind was only that I have to score. So I shoot hard as possible, and it go inside. So I'm really happy, and yeah.
You've had to wait a while to make your first start for Chelsea. How difficult has it been for you to sit there and wait for that opportunity?
Very, very difficult, I have to say. I'm a player. I like to play. I always want to play, and when you have to see your teammates in the tribune or in the bench, it's not so easy. But I was always behind the team. I always want that win every game, and I was waiting for my chance. And today my chance is coming, and I take the chance.
What was the message from the manager to you tonight before you went out onto the pitch?
Nothing special, only that I have to play like I trained in the last weeks, and yeah, to enjoy the game.
When we saw you come off, you had to walk around the pitch of Stamford Bridge, and we saw you getting a lot of appreciation from the Chelsea fans. That must have been a good feeling.
Amazing feeling. The Chelsea fans are amazing. It's really cool for me to have this experience, and yeah, I hope that I can have a lot of game with in front of the Chelsea fans.
Do you feel like there's an opportunity for you to start more matches under Graham Potter now?
I hope, but I think that question have to answer the coach.
Well done tonight, Dennis.
Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Look, it came off, it looked like he had an injury, but he's got a big smile on his face there, happy to be talking to Jules. It looks like he's OK. What did you make of his performance tonight?
I thought he was excellent. I thought he got round the pitch. You know, he was the one your eyes went to because it's his first game. You haven't seen anything of him. I think he got perfect for Jorginho. You know, a bit of experience in there next to him. He was getting around, putting his tackles in, breaking up the plate, and to get a goal would have been a bonus. And you know, now it's another option for Chelsea, especially with Kante being out for so long. It's a needed option.
Mm. I mean, you can see here the goal. It's quite interesting. We were just talking before. I'm obviously standing alongside two players who played for midfield and could get goals. But it's Mason Mount, first of all, of great endeavour, determination to get into this position. But the next clip we'll be able to see it a bit clearer. Just his patience and the way he just holds out. And you see the player who's playing with him here. Just want to highlight, there he is on the edge of the box. Then the fellow who's marking him there. Watch the way that he just drives into the box because he believes as a midfielder that you're trying to get in the box to score goals. But then the way he identifies that and just pulls out, creates a space, and by the time the ball gets to him, just because he stood here and waited, he's created a big amount of space for him to then see and be able to assess the situation.
It's a lovely finish, isn't it? I mean, I thought he needed to lift it because there were so many bodies, but he probably, you know, a bit of nerves, was probably wanted to get a good connection, kept it down and got a bit of luck he deserved, and he enjoyed that goal.
I like the fact of his character and his demeanour on the pitch. You know, it's his first game for Chelsea in the first team, and he looked as if he felt at home. He looked at home, you know. And
you said that in the beginning, didn't you, Glenn?
At the beginning.
When you saw him in the tunnel.
He walked down the tunnel, right, and went to all the players. And when I looked at Rio and said, well, is that for show or is that for real? And the way he was on the pitch, that was for real. He felt, you know, he was making himself feel, I've arrived and I'm here to stay, sort of thing.
Look, Brighton was not great from a Chelsea perspective, but it's the first time under Graham Potter they've looked like that. Do you see a role for him, a regular starting role going forwards, or is that a bit much to ask at this stage?
At this stage, I think so. It's ahead of him. If it depends on Kante if he comes back fit. But if Kante is a long-term injury, then there is a role for him, without a doubt, quicker than perhaps he even thinks.
Glenn, you think the way that Potter played at Brighton with the two physical boys in the midfield, do you think he could be looking to use him in there?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, he's got that physique. But he actually used the ball very well.
Yeah.
At times, he surprised us with quick feet. So he's got a little bit of everything there. He's just going to get better and better in there as a youngster. He's not too young. He's not a real young kid at 18 coming in, is he? But he's got some experience under his belt. It's the first time that Chelsea fans would have seen him, obviously, in the first team.
Good to see Raheem Sterling in a more familiar position. He scored one. He could have had two or three.
Yeah, he could have. And I think Raheem, I was delighted to see it because I've been hearing some outlandish comments about, should he even go to the World Cup for England? But this guy, whatever happens, he gets into good areas. He doesn't shy away when things aren't going his way. He still always gets himself into positions where he can affect the game. And his endeavour's always there. His determination and desire. I mean, this is what I love about this one. Just bring it back a little bit here. Keep your eye on this man on the dictator, Jorginho. Watch how many times he swivels his head to check the pitch. Beautiful, sees it there.
He's checking to see if anyone is marking him.
Exactly.
There's not.
But also checking to see where these guys are, where you're making your runs. And it's just brilliant. Brilliant. One touch opens it.
He's passed it into the corner. And look at it. Look at that. A little bit of frustration. He knew he needed to do something in the last few weeks, and he's now going to improve on that. You know, he can't wait now for the weekend, can he? For his weekend game. But no, today, professional performance from everywhere. Jorginho, for me, was excellent today. All right, they didn't really get tight on him, but he is someone that can look forward, and I think Aubameyang's movement, it was ironic he played a bit wider on the left-hand side, and as you've said there, we've shown that's better for him in a way, because he makes from outside runs to the danger zone, rather than when he plays in the middle, he's always forever making runs out into channels. So that's an interesting one to see where he plays at the weekend.
From a defensive perspective, what did you make of the goal they conceded, and how do you feel when you see Chelsea with a back four rather than a three?
I think their best defender is Thiago Silva, and I think the way that he plays, his age, etc., a back three suits him so much more, better. But what they do, and underground, I'm sure they'll do it more, is they change and flip formations in and out of possession. In game, they change things to suit the opposition and to combat the opposition. And today they went with a back four. So you look at that and you see sometimes in them positions. I mean, we can appreciate the goal here for now, but it can affect your decision making in your body position and your position in general in the back line when you switch from a back three to a back four. Distances are very different. Positions you take up. This is the better angle to be able to see it now. The ball comes across. I'll just stop it there as we go back. Because Glenn, you spoke about this really well as well at half time. Once it's there, normally if you're playing a back three, your other centre half will probably be sitting in there as your third centre back. But then the left wing back would be out here.
Right.
So what that does is that stops then the ball. Once the ball travels from over here to here, he then doesn't have the time to pick out a pass as he does in this instance. You get closer, you affect the cross, but he doesn't, because I think he's a little bit in no man's land a little bit there, and that distance is not affecting the man on the ball. You've got to get closer to make sure he gets his head down. He's got to do a trick to beat you, or he's got to play back, or he's got to hit the ball through you.
And also, if you're hitting a first-time crossing, it's such a big difference to what's happening in there with the centre-backs. Because if you're allowed to hit first-time crosses, they can't readjust. No defender can readjust.
Great point.
It is what it is. If he actually takes a touch and he's forced to take a touch, then you can reassess and get picking up better. And that is why first-time crosses catch people out.
Well, what Glenn's saying there is so right. When the touch is taken from the wide player, I can then get my hands across people. I can even have a look. I've got that split second to look, get myself closer and attach myself to someone and prepare for the cross. Yeah. With the first time cross, it takes all of that out of the equation.
It is what it is. You're either in a good position or you're not.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit 50-50.
I've been caught many times like that.
Not many. Once or twice. Right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we will then hear from Graham Potter, get his thoughts on what happened this evening, and of course, get his thoughts on the injury situation with Ben Chilwell. Hopefully he'll give us an update on that, but stay where you are. We're back in just a couple of minutes.
It's an interesting ball in that gives the real chance for Dinamo Zagreb, and Petkovic scores from close range. Aubameyang trying to get in, the back heel might work for Sterling here. Yes, it does. It worked brilliantly for Sterling. Now gets on the end of Sterling's ball and pulls it back towards Havertz. Zakaria, it's in. That's how you celebrate your debut.
So, it's a win tonight for Chelsea, but it comes at a price for Graham Potter, for one of his players especially, potentially for England as well. Let's now get the post-match thoughts of the Chelsea boss with Jules.
Graham, it didn't start too well, but how pleased were you with the response after that from the team?
Yeah, really pleased. Like you say, not the ideal start for us, but the character of the players was good. The responsibility of the players was really good. So got ourselves back in, and then overall played quite well. You know, attacked well, had some good chances. Was positive. So really pleased to get the win. Really pleased to finish off in a positive way.
Goals probably weren't what you were demanding out of Dennis Zakaria. What did you make of his Chelsea debut?
I thought he was really good. You can see what he brings, the quality he has. Played with enthusiasm, good discipline, got forward when he could. So really pleased for him.
After an impressive performance like that, can we expect to see more starts from him now?
Well, he certainly did what we asked, which was to which was to give us competition there. He did everything he could, which is to show his quality, help the team. Nice for him to score. Great debut.
Raheem Sterling back amongst the goals as well tonight. How much of that do you think was down to the position he was playing on the pitch?
Well, it would have helped, I guess. At the same time, whenever we've played Raheem, we've tried to get him as high as we can in the attacking phase of the game. And defensively, he's only ever had to do against the fullbacks. So, slight change in terms of the back four behind him, but not too much of a change.
Although there was a couple of goals scored tonight, there were plenty more opportunities. Do you still feel like you're missing a bit of clinical cutting edge in front of goal at the moment? What's that down to?
Well, the worry would be if you're not creating the chances. Tonight we had a few, I thought, chances that we could have scored, obviously. But our intent was good. Our play was good. Always to improve. But the quality's there from the players.
Do you feel like you got what you needed out of tonight's match ahead of a big game on Sunday against Arsenal?
Well, we got a win. We got a performance. I thought the personality was there, the intensity was there. Boys gave everything again. We're a work in progress, that's for sure. But in terms of our Champions League campaign, we can be pleased with what we've done. I think that's 4 wins and a draw, if I'm not mistaken, or 3 wins and a draw, sorry. I'm getting carried away there, adding a win on. But nevertheless, we're positive with that, and now we dust ourselves down for a big game at the weekend.
Unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you about injuries again. I feel like this is an ongoing theme at the moment. Ben Chilwell looked like he pulled up with a hamstring towards the end there. I assume it's too early to tell us any more?
Yeah, it doesn't look positive, but it's a hamstring, and we'll have to scan it and see how it is.
And Kepa arrived earlier at Stamford Bridge on crutches, which I don't think many people were expecting to see. Is he okay? Is he going to be okay for Sunday?
No, he won't be okay for Sunday. It's only precautionary in terms of keeping the weight off it. It's the bottom of his foot, so he's progressing well, but won't be available for Sunday.
Thank you, Graham.
Okay.
OK, so they're dealing with a few injury issues at the moment, but the most salient one is the conversation around Ben Chilwell. Look, we've had a look at some of the footage of him making his way off the pitch. This is as he came across the pitch at the full-time whistle. It looks like Mason Mount says what happened, and he says it's popped, and Mason Mount's reaction to that tells us a lot, doesn't it?
A lot. You know, the next 2 days is going to be massive, you know, whether it decides if it's a grade 1 or grade 2. But like I said, it's going to be 2-3 weeks before you can even think about getting him on the pitch. You know, look at him pull up here. That face there is a face. I could really feel his pain. It's a horrible feeling, and he knows that hand goes straight up. And all you want in that moment is to get back in the dressing room and just gather your thoughts, because it really is horrible. And Mason's his mate. He's come over to see if he's concerned. And
there's a reaction there. Look.
Yeah, you as an ex-player, you feel the pain even more.
You can do some fibres, but if it's popped, that means probably 4 weeks at least. At least.
That's devastating for him at this point.
Yeah, completely. And he was playing himself back into form as well.
Yeah,
like, he was doing well. You could see him charging up and down the wing. He was a definite outlet. It's just so unfortunate. But the unfortunate thing in football is injuries are part of the game. And
when
as
you have
players,
a World Cup in the middle of a season, it gives you no opportunity, does it, for recovery?
Yeah,
No recovery time,
true.
is there?
But listen, at the end of the day, he's had injuries before and he's come back, and hopefully all the guys I'll speak on behalf, we wish him well.
Absolutely, we send him our best. Let's have a little look then at who Chelsea may well face in the round of 16. Of course, they've won the group and it opens things up for them. What we weren't expecting to see, though, was PSG. I mean, the fact they finished second in their group, and it really sort of puts the cat among the pigeons, actually.
It does. You know, see, you'd be looking at that as you finish in top and you're thinking, yes, no. Nobody will want PSG, you know, but what it does, it sort of ensures us a massive, massive tie in the last 16. Yeah. I think PSG themselves would be the biggest ones who would be flabbergasted to put 14 points on undefeated.
I tell you who PSG can face? I mean, let's just remind people, this was the 6th goal of the night, scored in the 95th minute of the game, which meant that they finished second in their group. This is who they can face. They either will get Chelsea, Tottenham, Man City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Napoli or Porto.
Well, they'll be open for Tottenham, I'm sure.
For selfish reasons, I just hope they get an English team. I want to go. I want to see it. I want to watch them. Yeah. Messi, Mbappe, Neymar against any of them. That's just dreamland.
Football's mad, isn't it? Benfica get that final goal.
One
and
goal
suddenly...
as well, yeah. Just one goal. It's not like
Benfica are a decent side as well. They remember they've taken 2 points off of PSG.
Interesting evening. Of course, it's not over for the week, the European football, because the Europa League group stage concludes tomorrow evening here on BT Sport. Manchester United and Real Sociedad going head-to-head for top spot. Also work to do for Arsenal, because they would love to avoid the playoff round. They host Zurich. Meanwhile, in the Europa Conference League, Hearts are in Turkey. Shamrock travel to Sweden. West Ham complete their successful group stage campaign with a visit to Romania. Right, straight after the break, it's time for Champions League tonight. You're going to go home, are you, Glenn?
I'll give you a
Unbelievable. Right, gentlemen, it's the three of us. After the break, you will see all the goals from the night, all the big talking points from the night, and we want you to get in touch with the show as well. We're live till 11:30. See you shortly.